All right, welcome back to Ionan's Edge, everyone. Today's review is for an Apex Group pass-around knife. This is the Drop Plus Gavko Thresher in titanium. Some basic specs on the knife. We've got a clip point design blade, but it is actually kind of a combination of a Persian and then a clip point. This is a coated blade, S35VN steel, frame lock design, titanium scales and hardware, ceramic ball bearings manually deployed via thumb studs. So that's what we've got for the basics there. We've got 3.5 inches of fine cutting edge, 4 inches from the tip to the pivot. We've got a scale length of 4.5 inches, a tip to tail length of 8 inches, and an overall weight on my scale of 4.65 ounces. So let's talk about what I like. Obviously, I did not get a ton of time with this knife because it is part of the Apex Group's pass around, so our time with these knives is limited. First of all, it has a really unique, almost macabre look to it. Dragon scales, armor plates, right? Something like that comes to mind. The blade coating in black and all the black with the blue accents. It's a great look for this knife, though. It really does have a very, very unique look to it. Fit and finish is excellent. So let's talk about ergos. The ergos are good on the knife. They do take a little bit of getting used to because of these sort of segmented hand sections here. You can see how they have these scallops on the top of them. It's really unique. It's a fantastic looking knife. Definitely not your run-of-the-mill type of knife. And it does actually have pretty good ergos. The ergos are pretty good. There is plenty of room back here. And so I have to say that that is a plus. It does take a little getting used to, though, like I said. The pocket clip. The pocket clip on this knife is excellent. I only got to carry it a few times, but it carries great. This is a nice deep pocket clip. It's ramped. The front spoon is shallow. It's not sharp here on the edges at all. It doesn't have a big, a big hooked scoop up like this. So this is a really, really functional pocket clip, especially on a knife this size. I mean, look at how long this pocket clip is. This is huge. But it doesn't carry that way, and that's a cool thing. I really like that. It's got some springiness to it. It's not too tight. It really EDCs very well. This is a well-designed pocket clip on this knife, so I dig that a lot. Also, the finger scallop on this knife is huge. I mean, look, it is. There's me with my large glove-sized hands and large fingers, not extra large. I don't have the gorilla or sausage fingers that some folks in the community do. But look at how much room there is in the front of this scallop. It is really big. And if you have really big hands, you will probably like this knife because there's some room here to get your hands on this, even though this is a fairly standard size knife. So overall, the knife performed well in cutting tests. It's not very thick behind the edge, and with the flat grind, it does cut pretty well. It's not the greatest all-around blade, obviously, because of the really big curve. It has a fat belly and a high grind, but surprisingly, it cut really well and held an edge really nice. So I have no issues with that whatsoever. So let's talk about likes and dislikes. The knife has a super strong detent on the frame lock. It's very, very hard. Man, you gotta hit it. But once you overcome the detent, it does fire out there with some real authority. You will never fail this knife because the amount of pressure that you need to put on these thumb studs to get this knife to open up is pretty good. It is not a weak detent at all. You gotta put some pressure on that sucker. I'm not gonna say it's like ridiculously strong, but it is a pretty strong detent on this knife. The tuning is pretty good. I mean, once you overcome that, the thing fires out there really well. But just a point of note, it does have a pretty strong detent on it. The other thing I would say is the plate spacing on here. Again, it's really unique. Is it dragon scales? Is it armor plating? It follows that kind of the general design follows along with the titanium anodized back spacer. So it's a really cool looking knife. As far as design uniqueness and just the overall look of the knife, it's super cool. Now, this may not be for everybody. I get that. It's not typically a knife that I would gravitate toward, but as a reviewer, I want to put different things out there. I want to get my hands on different knives and let people know what I think of them. Build quality, fit finish, blade steel, all that stuff is top notch on this. It's a drop knife, so obviously it should be pretty good quality. But this might not appeal to everyone. It might not catch everyone's fancy because it is a unique design. It does have a little bit different blade shape. It does have these kind of unique scales on it. I would certainly dig owning one of these, but I don't know for myself if I would go out of my way to buy one. So that brings me to my summary. Again, it's an Apex knife, so I didn't get a lot of time with this knife, with the Thresher. That's what this is called, again, the Thresher. I did get to carry it a few days in my pocket. I did get to do a bunch of cutting tasks with it. Like I said, blade steel held up good. Ergos were pretty solid. Great pocket clip, no hot spots. Plenty of room to get that in your pocket, plenty of length on it. So there were some pluses to it. It is a solid knife that a dragon or a vampire would probably carry around happily. And like I said, it's not going to be for everybody design-wise, but I do give them kudos for coming up with something completely out of the ordinary and out of the normal realm. Huge finger choil, solid frame lock, a little stiff on the detent, but not too bad, generally speaking. And it feels right at home, in this kind of, if you're looking for something in this darker category, this kind of cool looking category, you want a wow factor type of knife. This could be your thing if that's the case. So what does the knife sell for? The regular price on this knife is around $219, but when I looked it up, it was listed for $169 and has been for a little bit now. So I believe that is a good price for a knife like this. You're getting a good quality steel. You're getting S35VN, great coating, great finish, fit and finish on the knife, good pocket clip. You just, it's made by Drop, right? So you just have to like the style. And if you're digging the style and you're digging the looks, I'm somewhat like it. And then there's other little things about it I don't in terms of the aesthetics. But overall, I can't really find much fault with this knife. It's well priced at $169, and if it speaks to you, I'd go ahead and get it. I'd recommend this knife to you. So again, this is the Drop Plus Gavko Thresher in titanium, black coated titanium and purplish blue accents. And that's what I got for you folks right there. I hope you've enjoyed the reviews. I hope you are enjoying the channel. Please drop me a comment down there. I always love to hear from you. Also, think about hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel for future content. And as always, folks, oh gosh, I almost forgot. Comparisons. Holy crap. Here's a size comparison to a Demko 80-20.5. Forgive me. Very similar size range, right? Little different style blade. But here's a knife that I think fits very, very well in a size comparison. This is the Dam Designs Hades. Very similar blade design style, a little more contemporary looking blade and handle, but basically almost the same size knife, but with a little bit more traditional or straighter type designed handle. So there you go, folks. That is the Drop Plus Gavko Thrasher Titanium. Check it out if you get a chance. Once again, thanks for viewing and stay sharp.